here we go. Dungeons 4. Now, I've actually already played through the entire campaign before, but I absolutely loved this series when I was growing up. Or rather the game this series is based upon. And this particular series just went with it and made it even better. So that's why I decided to play this with you and yeah, just have a little bit of fun with it.
This time.
Now,
Last stand.
I am going to play through it on difficult mode,
amongst others, her
because
stepbrother
I
Tristan.
do think that I am able to do that. Normally, I like to play on normal, but I have played a couple of these maps at least on the more difficult mode, and yeah, I think I should be able to do that. So let's just dive into it.
The last.
Now I hope the sound is good.
Once upon a time, long, long ago in, hell, well, you know the rest, the absolute evil had, in the fabulous predecessor to this game, taken over the entire overworld with its creatures. Now it spent its time on debauched parties and... Wait a minute. The entire overworld? No! One small village of indomitable heroes still held out against the invaders. The unamused evil was beside itself with rage. But all this was about to change once and for all, because the remote controlling evil sent its most vicious general into the field, the dark elf Talia. Talia, also known from the fabulous predecessor, came back from her vacation in a thoroughly good mood. Before that, she had defeated her foster father, the paladin Tanos. This fact is important to note.
I absolutely love how this game is narrated.
For this last remaining village of heroes was protected by none other than Tristan, foster son of Tanos and Talia's stepbrother. This proud warrior in shining, his handsome heroic chest accentuating armor, was the last glimmer of hope for the forces of good. Talia, who had fully embraced the dark side, couldn't wait to really kick her stepbrother's ass. And so our story begins.
Now I hope these loading times won't be too long, but unfortunately my PC is a little bit on the age side, so these loading screens generally take a bit longer than I might personally like. Now, as the narrator said, in Dungeons 3, we beat and killed Talia, who will be playing as her foster father, who basically, as we were being told, drilled mercilessly into her that she ought to be good and be doing good and all that kind of crap, and eventually the dark side that was in her won out, and so we went on a complete rampage. But yeah, that's where we left off from Dungeons 3. And now I'll refill my drink really quickly. Let's see where this will lead us.
The last defenders of good were fighting for their survival. This seemed to be the perfect time for Tristan to make his appearance, the last mighty hero of the good races.
It's a bit laggy,
My brothers! In your eyes I see the same fear that would lead me to despair. The
There
day
we
may come when the
go.
courage
Finally
of true
loaded
heroes
in.
is extinguished, when we abandon our companions and all bonds of friendship are broken. But that day is still far off. Stand fast, heroes of the West!
And with those familiar-sounding words, Tristan charged into battle to the cheers of his men. The heroes of good had managed to capture some of the evil creatures. Nevertheless, it was more than questionable whether a few minor victories and a brilliant speech could do anything against the absolute evil's armies. A storm of darkness and gloom descended, heralding the arrival of Talia, the absolute evil's general. This entrance not only panicked the defenders of good, but also seemed to strengthen the creatures of evil.
Hey, I'm back! Time to kick a little hero butt.
Yay.
Forward, creatures! Show me what you can do! Punch 'em smack dab in the mouth! Smash 'em in the face! Oh, and just as a precaution, get me my handbook of worn-out third-rate catchphrases.
Oh.
Ha! If my
But I love
eyes
it.
don't deceive me, that's my stupid stepbrother Tristan over there too, just waiting for me to lovingly put his head on a spear. Ha! Today is gonna be a good day.
Talia seemed to be very sure of victory. Some might find this puzzling, as it was the beginning of a long new campaign. But okay, maybe the rest of the missions are nothing but a string of debauched victory celebrations, who knows?
Just the amount of fourth wall breaking there. It's
A
just.
few pitiful opponents. I'm gonna massacre you.
It's so
If I
amazing.
can just remember how that works again.
Fortunately, Talia's instincts took over at this point, something which wannabe pro gamers often refer to as auto-attack. Talia also remembered that she had a few skills that she could invoke whenever she felt like it.
Oh, right. Boom! That's how it's done.
It is no wonder, by the way. No. It shouldn't come as a
Did
surprise.
someone actually cage my
That
subordinates?
the damage that
That
she
I'm the only one's
does
allowed to do that.
is
Time to bust
precisely
these things
666.
open. Pulverize them. Nuke 'em.
Talia's mighty storm
because
once again
in
stood at her disposal.
religion, that is also called the number of the beast, or the number of the devil
The
himself.
cage was destroyed and creatures were freed.
So,
Talia had freed
yeah,
all
we
the
are
creatures.
playing
Not to be
as
outdone by
evil.
her stepbrother, she too gave a brilliant
But I
speech.
assure you,
Speech.
it is
Sure.
very, very fun to be playing
Time
as
to
this
punch the
particular
do-gooders
evil.
right in the kisser. Forward! Punch 'em in the face, kick 'em in the shins, break their belt buckles so they trip on their pants.
Yes, very inspiring.
Hasta la vista, hero boy.
So,
Talia had
slowly
reached the
but
center
surely
of battle.
we're making
With
our
another
way
brilliant
forwards.
speech, she goaded her creatures on one more time.
Another speech? Oh. Ding dong, the hero's dead. That okay?
Honestly, I don't know if I can work with you like
Although
this.
this might seem like a very chaotic
After
battle, it
Talia's
really
words,
isn't.
the creatures surged forward and
we
fought
have
to their linguistically
so many creatures.
under-talented leader, or would like to, but the defenses on the
shouldn't
left and
really
right flanks
be
made
a
progress
problem.
impossible. Talia had to destroy them in order to receive further support.
And we might lose a few, but that's okay.
Yippee-ki-yay, hero mucker.
And as you can see, we're mucking them up quite nicely. Hey, Hedge! Good evening, good morning, whatever it is. Welcome, welcome. I didn't expect to find you here.
The hero's left defensive flank could no longer withstand the breaching evil's creatures.
That gives me an idea. Maybe I should stream the crust at some point. Although, I'm not sure whether I am skillful enough to do that. So I'm a little bit hesitant. I'm not telling anyone what you may or may not be doing.
The hero's defense collapsed on the right flank. The monstrous evil creatures flocked to Talia.
Excellent. I can always use more cannon
What
fodder.
kind of work do you do, if I
love
may ask?
Loyal subordinates.
And I'm sure it's okay if you lurk in.
You dare to show your face here after killing our foster father?
Yeah. Is that a trick question? You can see I'm here.
Clearly we want to get out of that,
deserved
because
what he
that's
got.
a
And I
massive
thought to
AoE,
myself,
which will do a lot of damage.
like father, like
And I
son.
don't like that
You
to
will
happen,
hate your
same
deeds,
like
sister.
that.
The light will
Oh,
protect me.
get out of that. It would make it a lot easier if we could dodge all that.
Sister, turn from evil and come back to the side of good. See the power of light.
With these words, Tristan was bathed in a golden light that seemed to protect him. As if that were not troublesome enough, a number of magical portals opened at the same time.
Huh. As if this wasn't dragging on way too long already. Can't we just jump straight to the point where I greedily take over
That's
the
one
world?
portal down.
Forward, creatures! Smash the portals! Flatten that magic junk! Pull the plug!
My brothers!
Oh,
In
dear.
your eyes, I see the same fear that would lead me to despair. The day may come when the courage of true heroes is extinguished. When we abandon our
portal
companions
down.
and all bonds of friendship are broken. But that day is still far off. Stand fast! Heroes of the West!
Oh, didn't you spout that same
Ah,
bullshit
okay.
earlier?
Well,
In
if you have a
exactly
little
the
bit
same
of
words.
time
No, not at all. I am known for my brilliant
to,
speeches. Wicked stepsister.
rest up a
I
little
seem
bit
to remember
and
that
just
whenever you were
watch
supposed to
or
speak in front of the class,
listen in.
we had to get
Yeah,
a mark.
I
You'll
like
pay
that.
for that.
Thank you.
Onward, faithful! Destroy the
And the
evil!
crust and
All
sandbox
magical
mode has no
portals
real
had been
pressure.
destroyed, and with
So
them,
yeah, I
Tristan's
think
shield
that might be a
went
good
up in
idea to
smoke.
go for that.
That's the way I like it.
to
Now,
begin with.
Where were we? Oh,
But I think I'll
I was
finish the
just
campaign
about
of
to kick my
Dungeons 4
stepbrother's
first.
butt.
Before I go into the crust, I think. Now, my main game that I'm playing is Lord of the Rings Online,
Sister, it doesn't have to end this way. Join me.
and
Together we can still save
I'm
the
doing
world.
a deep dive into the
How
lore
could
there,
you die and spare us
comparing
all
the
the
game to
embarrassing
the books.
melodrama?
But unfortunately, the game has gone into maintenance at this point. So I can't continue that right now. So I decided to play something different instead. Yeah, it is awesome. That is one of the main reasons why I've decided to play this game. The amount of fourth wall breaks and sarcasm with the characters and the narrator,
With these words,
even
Tristan
between them,
quickly created a portal
that is...
and threw himself through it
it's
with the last of
so
his strength.
great.
The portal closed again behind him.
Treachery, fraud, cheater! This was supposed to be my victory! And what the hell kind of glove is that anyway? Looks to me like game design forgot to balance the thing properly.
Maybe the people in charge were still too captivated by your great speech. It brought tears to my eyes too. However, not of emotion.
As if the bird brains these evil creatures have needed grand speeches. A few skulls to bash in, and the social calendar for the evening is filled.
Well, each to their own. But apparently, Tristan had suffered a mishap, as the aforementioned magic glove still lay in the place where it was last used. It would seem that he had accidentally lost it.
Wonderful.
The way in which the
This is
narrator
just
there
what I
completely
need.
dissed on
Chic.
Talia, that
Just grab that right away.
it's so
And
much
so
fun.
our story begins.
Yay! Finished the first map.
Tristan had managed to give Talia the slip, but she had been able to capture his magic glove.
Oh,
The Gauntlet of Finitude, a fabled artifact. Unfortunately, UI overlays don't work in cutscenes, so Talia couldn't read just exactly what the glove did.
oh god,
Nevertheless, she
UI
proudly presented
overlays.
it to the absolute evil in its form as the Dungeon Lord. And so misfortune took its course, because at the same time, Talia wanted to demonstrate how loudly she could snap her fingers. But this snap,
Gauntlet
which
of
would go down in
Finitude.
the history books as the Dungeon Lord snap, unleashed horrific forces that were discharged into the Dungeon Lord himself.
And
Talia rose to her
this
feet.
is
The gauntlet had
the
disappeared,
first of
and the
many
Dungeon Lord lay
references
dying.
to the
Viewers
Marvel
often began to
Cinematic
cry at this
Universe.
point, because it made them think back to the last really good superhero movie. Talia mourned for about 5 seconds. Talia had shattered the realms of good and served them onto the absolute evil on a silver platter, while it had actually done nothing at all.
Yay!
So Talia now became the absolute ruler. She had no clue about how to rule, but more than made up for it with hubris and consistently ignoring glaring problems. In addition, she surrounded herself with a staff of incompetent advisors. What could possibly go wrong?
Yep, what could possibly go
10
wrong
minutes
with
later.
incompetent advisors?
Tristan had captured Talia, locked her in a cage, and put the armies of absolute evil to flight. And so the story ends. We'll tell you how the story continues in overpriced microtransaction bites. Oh, wait, wrong script. That's a different developer. Hang in there, I've almost got it.
Even
While
digging
Talia
at
was
other game
ignominiously
studios, it's
taken away,
great.
the unused essence of absolute evil continued to float through the ether. It wasn't about to admit defeat that easily, but for evil to triumph once again, it needed Talia back, for better or for worse. And so the swirling essence of absolute evil set about commanding the perplexed-looking chaotic hordes and freeing Talia.
Yay!
Hammer time! Round 2. The essence of absolute evil held the horde together and rose to the challenge of vicious.
Let's go into the second round. Oh, there's so many cutscenes, and it's absolutely great how they did that. They took the humor of the original Dungeon Keeper and just went straight over the top.
Tristan! Let me out of this damned cage, you stupid little good elf. Otherwise, I'll have a hard time wringing your scrawny neck. What the hell do you want from me anyway?
Talia, stepsister, your deplorable deeds must not go unpunished. You have slain our foster father Thanos, a blasphemous affront to our goddess, whom you, to top it all off, have also slain. But we will have plenty of time to argue on our journey. I am here for the stone. Brynhild, if you please.
You know you can, you little cutie. Oi! Go on, you lazy lot. Get that destroyer of worlds class hammer going.
Oh boy. Ah.
Talia had been captured. Only the bubbling around the place essence of absolute evil could save her. It was amusing to leave Talia in the clutches of her brother. But on the other hand, without her help, the shapeless evil would probably just roam the countryside as a disembodied something or other, and at best be hired for third-rate horror movies. Fortunately, a forgotten dungeon heart lying in the underground could quickly be reactivated. Together with the creatures of the Horde, it would be easy to smash the do-gooder heroes there to smithereens.
Yay.
The wafting evil had to get rid of that dwarven
So,
contraption on the overworld,
here
as
we
it
start
posed a
with
threat to the underground, and with it, the dungeon
base
heart.
building
It
part,
was therefore
where
necessary
we
to build a
basically
mighty
dig out
dungeon,
rooms.
or rather, to have one built, because as a wafting essence, the disembodied
Generally
evil could
speaking,
not
we
do
want the
much
rooms in
itself.
5x5. Yeah. Or at least evenly spread out. So generally I just spread out in all directions and see where we can go. Let's see. Research. Let's research the armory. The treasury. Because we do need a treasury to store the gold that we mine. Also, we have these little goblin-like creatures. They are called little snots. They are doing all the work around it. Okay, Hedge. Good luck with that, and maybe I'll see you tonight during your own stream. Have fun. Well, have good luck, I should say. And thank you. So these little snots do all the work. They mine, they build rooms, they build walls, they build traps. Basically, anything menial, and they will do.
The gold-hungry evil had built a treasury. The meager amount that could be stored in the throne room was simply not even close to enough for a proper gold bath.
A hatchery for chickens. I'm going to build a 6x6 over there. Is actually better.
The gluttony-loving evil had built a gobbler farm.
I say
Here,
better, but
delicious
that's
gobblers
only
were
for one
raised to
reason.
serve as food for the Horde.
Okay, I think this is good. Sorry. As I said, I can get distracted really easily. I need that. Build a hideout, which is the place where our first units can stay. Meantime, let's also research everything else that we can for the time being. And so it begins. And the reason why I went to for a 6x6 room here is that when I recruit these creatures,
The army
They
of evil
will,
had recruited its first creature. A bit underwhelming,
make
considering
their
that it was sitting on
lair
the throne of
in
the gods a
their
short time ago.
appropriate
But fresh starts are
sleeping
never
quarters.
easy.
And for these horde creatures, that is their hideout.
Payday.
And that is always, no matter which different type of creature it is, on a 2x2 space. So having a 5x5 room for where creatures can stay is just not useful at all. Now I know that. These always need a little bit of space. These forks will never have enough.
The sheltering evil had built a
In
hideout for the
terms
horde's
of
creatures.
food, so
These
I
could
always build a
henceforth
little bit
build
of
themselves
extra.
a place to rest there.
Maybe that's some gold. So I want to build a treasury around that. So our little snots don't have to run all the way everywhere. We'll build a treasury around this gold vein as well. Also want to build a place where we can store evilly goodness, and we also want to get that workshop up and running, because workshops are amazing. Let's quickly do the hatchery here, and sometimes this is just a matter of crazed base building. Some of these missions are quite hectic, but since this is one of the first ones, it's actually
The hard
fairly
work
easy.
allowing evil had built a tinkerer's cave. Here, little snots could use the work units to make toolboxes, which were needed for the more extravagant dungeon accoutrements.
Also, we can fill in holes that we don't want to use, which is a really handy tool to have. So we will make lots and lots of use of that, because like places like this, we do want to mine out all the random gold around here. But we don't want all the rooms to be open, so we definitely want to fill those places back up. I also want to research doors. So definitely. There we go. Going to place some doors between rooms, and definitely just outside of the dungeon hub. Very important, this area, if that ever gets destroyed by hero invaders, we lose the game. So we definitely don't want that to happen. Ooh, that is good. This is a vein of diamonds, which means it is a permanent mining a gold vein. So we don't have to worry about money at all in this particular map and this mission. So we want to build a treasury around that, as well as, of course, a door protecting it.
Evil could use the Hand of Terror, not only to intervene, but also to lend its little snots the impetus they needed by giving them a spirited slap. The detestable evil had earned some delicious evilness. Excellent things could be done with it, such as researching new stuff.
I
However,
completely
first,
forgot this
a
was
place
some
had to be
sort of
found where the
tutorial mission,
evilness could be stored.
I've just
The
been
absolute
building
evil
happily
quickly built a
while
vault of evilness.
The narrator just went on and yapped about. Oh, it needs to be 6 by 6. That is so annoying. Okay. Guess I will have to fill in this entire corridor then.
Oi! How long is this
I don't
thing
want that
going
room
take,
to be
lads?
open.
Snookums and I weren't planning on dying of old age here.
I sure hope not, because I have a whole different set of plans for just how you lot are gonna die here.
Hey, Talia.
The glamorous evil had built a vault of evilness. This allowed it to henceforth store evilness and use it.
Yay!
Oi! No need to sit around being lazy when we could
No,
be picking up a little
I
gold
believe
while
that
we're
chickens
here,
are
eh?
always
On you
a
go,
problem.
lads.
So
Grab
I'm
the
gonna add
nearest
some
gold
extra
vein.
to it.
Sooner or later, the greedy
I
dwarves
also
would dig
want
their way
to
into the
make
dungeon.
my lair a
The
little bit bigger.
perfidious evil used a workshop to prepare traps to stop the gold-stealing dwarves in their tracks.
Right, coming from right over there. So we want to build some traps here. So let's
Technological progress has almost always been a fine thing. Further
research
research
them.
could not only make new
And,
units or rooms available, but also increase the maximum number of little slots or creatures.
Now, what I'm doing here is these traps will slow them down, while these will continuously make them take damage,
A new area has been unearthed in the dungeon.
and that definitely will make them take quite a bit of damage over time. I also want to research the bigger traps, but that will cost quite a bit of gold, and because we've been building so much and digging, our little snobs haven't exactly had time to gather all the gold and mine more than just a little bit. Let's expand our gobbler farm, because our evil minions love them some turkey. This is not good. I don't like this open area here. I guess I will just have to wall that off a little bit. Just have to make do with this area. And also have to research these creatures. I'm not entirely sure which one I want to go for, maybe both. But I do know that, generally speaking, the creatures I absolutely love best are the orcs and the naga, especially the naga because they can heal other creatures. And for the rest, healing is done by being out of combat. Really, I want to increase the size a little bit. Closing this area off. And I want to increase that size a bit because these machines here, they are, along with the little snots, make it able to create these boxes, and the boxes are needed to create things like traps. And I could place them here, but the open areas is also what allows the storage of those boxes.
Yeah, they had to stinking orcs, whose skulls are at best used as toilet paper holders in the lavatory. Okay, boys, tear this joint to the ground.
Dwarves had opened a passage into the dungeon. The little snots immediately executed Order 67, as they had been instructed to do by Talia in such a case, which meant that they ran through the dungeon with their arms flapping wildly. At the same time, they opened the secret trap cache, so that the tricky
Order
evil could give the dwarves a
67.
very warm welcome.
And that's the first dig at the Star Wars franchise. For those...
A hero had died in one of the cruel
Okay,
evil's traps.
princess. Sorry I missed this, but see you later. Goodbye. Order 66 in the Star Wars universe was the order given by Emperor Palpatine to wipe out the Jedi. So saying Order 67 is clearly a dig at something like that.
Attack!
Obviously, the danger from the dwarves had not yet been neutralized. Luckily, the little snots had made a few traps in their spare time, and they were only too happy to make available to the all-consuming evil.
I'm going to sell these traps over here.
The cunning evil had placed the first traps. This would make it much harder for the greedy dwarves to steal the gold from the treasury, or even destroy the dungeon heart itself.
Not you. I want them to go through this area and basically, so I want more of these, just to go through a gauntlet of traps. These are coming.
The little snot's trap glittered and gleamed. Soon, gold-hungry dwarves would be biting their teeth out on it as they unknowingly fast-tracked for a quick demise.
I think if I fill it up like this. Then I can force them to go take a certain path I like, and this lava will definitely hurt them. So I want to use some of these pushing traps to push them into the lava. But we'll need at least a little bit on there. Now we have the walls to actually use these pushing traps. Also want one over there. So I'm going to put in that. Over here. And go there. Pick up my units for the time being.
Ding dong! It's payday.
And let them fight the dwarves while the traps are being built. And pushing trap. Please, that's not good. Let's see, can I... And if I do that... It's always a lot harder to find the best locations for these. But I think that is the best place for now. Obviously, I want to slow them down a little bit. The same here. And there. Those. I want those kinds of traps there as well. Another one of these wall saw traps here with some spikes in between. So lots and lots and lots of traps being built at the moment. And oh, my gold unfortunately is taking a definite beating. But hey, we'll get through it. At least the snots are working really hard to get all the traps out there. Now, you might also see that this overview has two different maps. The left one is for the overworld, which we will go into at some point, while the right one is for the underworld. And the overworld is where we'll have to go to defeat the heroes. Oh boy, I think I might have made a mistake here. Because if I see this correctly, then these snots have a little bit of a problem getting to their location because of this lava. But it looks like they are getting there at some point, so yeah, I don't think I have to worry too much. I also want some extra traps here. But I want them to be absolutely bogged down. But a little bit of damage in between is never a bad idea. So yeah, that's lots and lots and lots and lots of traps. But I think we'll be fine. I do want to get that research though. Having the 3 extra snots, that will help. Considering that by building these traps I expend quite a little bit of gold. Yeah, getting those extra snots will definitely help me build up my dungeon faster. Let's see. You can see that the heroes will have taken quite a beating already from this saw trap. And they're about to run into this pusher, and you can see they are pushed back into the lava and stunned there for a while. A small spiky trap there.
It's payday.
And the ones who managed to pass, I believe this one might be just a bit immature. So I'm going to demolish this pusher and put it 1 tile over. One tile over, because when I put it over here on this wall, actually there was a reason why I put it, and then extended there, and then second there. No, I should put it right over here, because if it's over there, then they will get pushed into the wall, what you just saw. Whereas if I put it 1 back, they will get pushed into the lava. I'm getting a bit tired of seeing these heroes here, so I'm gonna drop my army right in there with them. So I'll probably make short with take short drift, make short work of them. And in the meantime,
The workforce hoarding evil had increased its maximum little snot limit and now had access to even more of the industrious little creatures.
Yay! More creatures means more gold to mine. Now we can definitely continue exploring in every direction, which I do tend to do. Although, quite honestly, it's not something that is required. I just tend to do it a lot because I want to find these gold veins. And yeah, that just helps with paying for my army and everything. 500 I also need level. As you can see, these traps are slowly but steadily being made.
A new area of the dungeon has been
And it's going to
discovered.
be so much fun here. So, we've discovered some lava. So basically we want our snots to be able to walk around that. So we are going to dig out a little area there. And have a door there. Yeah, this all looks
A new
very,
area
very
of the
good.
dungeon has been discovered.
More has been discovered. Yay! Do that. I usually take my time with these, and I don't really want to spend.
A new area has been unearthed in the dungeon.
I tend to just take it easy and yeah, have some fun while I do this. So go. It's almost gone. Problem. Two of those once I get the cash for that. And up here we can see the limit on the creatures we can have. And I think one, two, or four.
Ding
So
dong!
I am
It's
just
payday.
two over there. I know I can sacrifice it somewhere. What's going on there? This? Over there. Nope, it's not over there. Oh, there. Bye-bye! Okay. And I know we're not at the limit yet, but I want one more Naga, and it will only give me one more creature limit here. So, yeah, I think maybe this is a little bit of overkill, because very soon I'll just go here and invade them. But hey, at least we had some fun building all these traps, right? So let's see how many of these pesky dwarves actually survive this immense gauntlet. Boop! Pushed a whole lot of them into the lava. And they take quite a bit of damage from the trap itself. But once they're done, they immediately try to go around. So they survive the first part. And then go into this labyrinth of traps. And poof! There they go. Few more will die right there. Now only the stone guards remain. And there they go. I think it's time to teach them a lesson. There we go. Instead of letting the fight come to us, we're taking the fight to them. So it's a bit hard to see what's happening here, but suffice to say, our creatures are winning the fight. And just absolutely demolishing our enemies. These dwarves. Pesky dwarves. And with this many healers, we really don't mind them taking a little bit of damage here and there. Because our healers will absolutely take care of that. And this is why I'm always having this many healers around. Now, it is important to note that our level is tied to our research, so we really want to start getting that research up as well. Luckily, most of our traps are now...
One of your creatures has died.
Dang
I'm
it.
sure you're shedding a tear right now as you hire the next
I'm
three.
going to
Later, you may also be able to resurrect these creatures.
What's one dead creature if it gets one closer to the goal of
I
freeing
thought
me?
I could...
Come on, free me already, you rotten
I think what
maggots.
happened there was one of the new parties was about to come in while I was still fighting the other one. And yeah, it's not as easy sometimes as it might seem. I definitely want a new orc. But let's wait for enough cash to upgrade this level of research for them, so that we'll also be able to gain higher levels. Except that it seems to be paused when I'm in the research screen. And while part of me is like, yeah, that's nice, another part of me is like, yeah, but I just want the game to continue. You know? Now we can also research different levels in for these creatures themselves.
Payday.
For
Creatures
example,
are
these
collecting their
orcs,
pay.
if we research Berserker Rage, then once they reach level 2, they gain that the ability to deal more damage for a little while. And the third research is whenever an orc is in a Berserker Rage, if it's healed, it also increases that orc's armor by 50%, which is really, really good. Now, I generally want to go for the Naga. Yeah, I'll go for the Naga. Just wait for 750 gold. And I'll grab another 4 in the meantime. Oh, I need to research none. Okay, the game tells me so. Not that I'm going to recruit them. But hey, at least I've got them. I want that as well. Okay, that was just a little bit too far away. There they come, outside of their room to defend it. And especially those pyros, those flame belchers, they are quite dangerous because they do AoE damage. But we now have the numbers that we should be easily able to overcome them. Next, meantime, get the research done.
Your gold vein is nearly
goblins.
exhausted.
And now things will be a lot easier. Although I say a lot easier, but it's still difficult. And you see here that I immediately picked up my army when this new batch of heroes was about to come in. Because I don't want to fight two groups at the same time. That is just too much. In the meantime, I can monitor their health on this screen. And this fort is getting dangerously low, so I'll just pick him up and move him out of the way. And he'll move in back in eventually, but for the time being, it'll be fine. And as you can see, we have almost... Yep, we've defeated this group. So it's time to move on and go and defeat these, the last of these wars. And hopefully we can then find ourselves a way out to the overworld, where we'll have to rescue our amazing leader. And yeah, that's basically the mission, I guess. Wait for a bit. You like this. The problem about these confined spaces is that those AoE abilities do so much damage, and I can control my units a lot less than I'd be able to do on the overworld. Because on the overworld I can give them all individual commands, and here I would have to do that a little bit differently. So I can do it, but it's not as easy as it would be on the overworld. Now you saw that I left these ones alone, because I have so many traps here that they will never reach my dungeon hall. So let's see. Their own dungeon hard is under attack. They come to defend it, which is alright by me because that saves me the trouble of looking for them. As you can see, all my creatures have already leveled up to level 3.
The dwarves were defeated for the time being. Satisfied, the essence of the absolute evil rubbed something that could perhaps pass for two hands together. The all-destroying evil had conquered the exit. This left the way of the surface open for its troops. The absolute evil's creatures
now I can actually, when I select all my units,
finally,
I
they could lay waste not only to the
decide
boring
where they
corridors
should
of the
go.
dungeon, but also to the lush green meadows of the overworld.
I think this area is probably a little bit too small for all the evilly goodness. Let's grab some upgrades in the meantime. I don't know exactly what kind of upgrades I'm buying, but hey, they're there, and why not? In the meantime, my creatures will continue to do that thing in the overworld, and you always want to destroy these hero camps, because those will continuously spawn new heroes.
Entrench themselves behind even higher walls.
Let's see. There are a few of the creatures here, so it always pays to
destroyed a cave.
explore the overworld. Because as you can see, right now I have 11 creatures at my command, but when now I suddenly have a lot more, and that's more than the total my dungeon would normally allow. But some of these missions grant these prisoners, which will then give me a lot more of them. And what I often do is just be lazy, right click somewhere in the vicinity, let them move there, and then just let them do their thing. I saw that this tent just spawned a new group, but that is alright because now I have so many, so I do need to try and kill these assassins because they have this ability that they are a little bit elusive, meaning that they will not be automatically targeted. But they are still quite strong, so when you go up against some of them,
another of the heroes' camps.
what you'd
Screaming
like
at
to
the top
do
of their
is
voices, the
to
survivors took to their heels.
manually target them and kill them before they actually become a problem. Now that's all the research done. In later missions, it's going to be a lot harder to get that research done. Because at some point you'll run out of both money and evilness, with which you can fund that research.
Your creatures have destroyed a cage.
Yay, more creatures! And there's a lot of goblins. Now I kind of wish I had gotten myself more naga.
Oi, I have to protect the blueprints, Snookums. Otherwise, the orcs will eventually end up building some
Sometimes I
decent
just
machinery
simply
here.
right click and give them an attack order, because
Brynhild,
that way
what are you doing?
they will
I thought your dwarves could easily handle a few orcs.
Problems, brother mine? Oh,
just
what
go
a
there,
shame.
attack,
I
but
had
it is
actually
a
already
little bit
planned on making
dangerous,
myself a
because
tea set
then
out of
these
dwarf
naga will also
skulls.
attack,
Talia,
and that is
your
not
evilness
something that
truly
you
knows no
always
bounds.
want to do.
These dwarves are part of the alliance of
Sometimes
good.
you just want them to
will also
go
form
heal
part of
as
that
soon as
alliance.
possible. Okay, are we done yet? Bombardier. Bombardier do area of effect damage. We never like area of effect damage because,
The path to the
especially
dwarves'
when we have
oversized
larger
hammer lay open.
armies,
The
we
trembling
can't
heroes prepare
out-heal that.
themselves for the final battle.
We're almost there. Just these last two groups to go. I think we're actually making a mess of it. Oh, there. Anything useful here?
Payday.
We can simply destroy this hammer and be done with it. Yay! That's the
The
mission.
dwarven equipment spectacularly went up in flames. which was rather odd, as the creatures had only been hitting the thing with their weapons. But fine, perhaps Horde weapons were made of flint. Yet the distraction provided by the dwarven intervention
And that's a
had
dig
shifted
at
the
just about every
destruction-loving evil's
RTS out
focus
there,
long enough
where you
for
can just
Talia and her
hit anything
stepbrother
with a
Tristan
sword
to
and
disappear
it will
into the
eventually
distance.
burn.
With an imaginary sigh, the staggering
Even
evil took
stone
one
buildings.
last look around before setting off in pursuit. The path led to the Hellwoods, an eerie place claimed by the demonic creatures of the underworld.
Yay!
The
Now-
Hellwoods. Talia was taken ever deeper into the lands by her stepbrother Tristan.
Yeah,
They
let's
passed
play
through
one
the
more.
Hellwoods, a hotbed of
I think I'm going to
demons.
call it a day after this because, as I said before, I have had quite a short night and I'm really feeling that right now. So I think I would like to have a short little break before the things that I have to do tonight. Ooh, ooh. Looting times. So we dealt with this
In the
hammer thing,
underground beneath
but
the
we're
Hellwoods,
still
Talia's
short
stepbrother
a
Tristan
Talia.
was tampering with the remains of a dungeon long thought forgotten. But the demonic evil's henchmen were hard on his heels and were also slogging their way through the underground. Tristan had no choice but to
And I
retreat.
think
My
in
brothers!
this
In your eyes I see the
mission,
same fear that would
we'll
lead me to despair.
learn how to
The
deal
day may
with
come when the-
these hell kind of creatures.
Tristan, you good-for-nothing imbecile! Can't you just shut up for once,
And
or finally come up with a
They
different
are
speech?
really nice
That's
as
so-
well because they are
Hey!
effectively immortal.
Are those my armies of
Um,
evil?
Once they die, they return
Here! Get me
to
out of here so
the
I
dungeon,
can personally kick
and
my
it will take
stepbrother's butt. Go
a little bit of
ahead,
magic
finish 'em
to
off.
simply
Give
revive
it to
them.
them. Push a way
However,
past the
magic
expiry
is
date
not
cake
that easy to
right
come
in their
by.
faces.
Or at least
Never!
it's
The
not
power of magic
always
flows
easy to
through
come
me.
by.
A magic barrier will keep those
So,
creatures at
having
bay.
a little bit of
It seemed that
prudence
Tristan did
with
actually
them
have some small knowledge of magic. His
is
barrier
still
was impenetrable
advised.
to conventional attacks. Where magic was concerned, however, things looked just a little different. The spellbook perusing evil quickly set about tackling this problem underground.
Okay.
Before the
Stick
mana-craving
out
evil could resort to
this
magic, it would first have to
spot.
take care of the demons. It made perfect sense to have a
We already have
vortex
a
built to
evilness,
house
we
demonic
have the
creatures.
treasury pre-built, and indeed, we now have these units to make, these demons. I'm not sure whether they require food. I think they do, so we'll definitely grab that. They also need a place to sleep, so that over here.
Some parts of the underground were
Ooh.
saturated with mana. Once dug up, this could be used to
these
cast spells. The
purple tiles
mana-addicted
are
evil
mana.
wanted to try this out as soon as possible.
And they are very, very useful, because that is the mana that we'll need to sustain our demons, basically. I remember all of these. Wait, the vortex is where they live, and the arcanium is where they regenerate that mana. Actually, it has been quite some time. Come on, you little snuts, work harder. Giving them a slap will make them work harder for a time. And considering that, I definitely want them to work harder. To mine more gold, to mine out the areas that we need. Ooh. That is the Arcanium. Okay, thank you. Let's mine that out properly. Just all this gold over here.
You have unearthed a new area in the dungeon.
You have unearthed a new area in the dungeon. Ah. I do want to put that part in because I like my rooms to be symmetrical. So if they're big rooms like that, I tend to have the doors in the middle as much as I can. See, I think build you over there. I want to know what you abilities. That requires evilness. I don't have a room. I do have a room where I can store evilness. But for the time being, I will simply have these.
The room builder evil had had a vortex built.
And
there, hired
go
demons
outside for a
found
bit,
shelter
because
and a
that's
place to
where
wait until they could be resurrected at the
actually
Stand
find
fast, men!
the evilness.
There may come a day when courage fails us, but it is not this day. On this day we fight! By all that you hold dear on this good earth, I call you to stand firm! Brothers of the kingdom! Let us lay waste to the dungeon!
Oh,
Attack!
shut it.
Ah, you stole that speech. I've heard something very similar to that before.
That's beside the point. Those words inspired my men. The pen is mightier than the sword.
But weaker than a horde battle axe. It's just too bad that I can't be there to watch the show because I'm stuck in your stupid cage.
Oh boy. Thing. They survived. Good. Now that I've got a little bit of evilness, I can actually research a few things. Please. I need. What is your? Why is it taking so long?
A new area has been unearthed in the dungeon.
It's taking so long because they have a lot to do. Oh, what did I do? Good.
Heroes had entered the dungeon, while the arsonist evil was marching its army around the overworld. Thanks to the demonic portal spell, creatures could instantly be sent back to the dungeon from the overworld. A new area has been unearthed in the dungeon.
Okay, this is good. So I can now use spells, including this portal, which I will immediately use to get my creatures back into the dungeon. and make sure that these pesky heroes do not kill my dungeon heart, basically. And I can equip you. Oh, that is fully upgraded. Okay. Okay, upgrade you. Unlock you. Nice. But I only have 2 more room for my creatures. And I'm not sure I want these. Let's see what they are. It's a ranged fighter, fire damage, attack, slows opponents.
Doors in the dungeon not only
Makes the
reduce
target and all
drugs, but
surrounding
could also
enemies
stop
more
heroes
vulnerable to
and
fire
other
damage.
enemies in their tracks for a
Okay,
short
so
time.
that is
They also increase the
very
efficiency
useful
of rooms.
because
It therefore made
all of
sense to have a
these
door to close off a production room.
actually fire damage. So I definitely want to recruit a couple of those. Okay, if you say so, I will create a room for these things. There we go. In the meantime, oh, I could have used. That is one thing, by the way. If you've used a portal in the overworld, it can get destroyed, but if it doesn't, you can just use the portal in the dungeon to quickly get to the point where you were before. I'm going there because I want to see if I've missed anything, like these crates. They will get me a little bit more evilness, quite likely. Well, or gold or anything else.
The spoiled evil had discovered a few stray demons who were all too willing to join his dark army. Of all things, these were stuck in a rather
probably
awkward
don't
position.
need it because I've got
The
so much
perplexed
mana
evil
already.
pondered how to go about it.
But hey, the game is telling me to do it, so I do it. I can't get that just yet. Exactly how to get there. But there's only one way to find out, and that's going forward.
Hey, Tristan, favorite, because oh, stepbrother, you see my troops marching over there? I think they're gonna make short work of you.
Don't get your hopes up too soon, stepsister.
Yay.
My barrier and my men will stop them. We got what we wanted here, and we'll soon be on the road again.
Huh. Creatures, get me the hell out of here already! Come on, get a move on!
Get these out
Save
of
me,
here.
free me, sign petitions demanding my release!
I don't know how, but we'll figure it out at some point. In the meantime, my units will just do their thing. Oh! Right, how I can get them out. I just make a portal here. One move
The
in.
ingenious evil had managed to return the scattered demons safely back to the dungeon by means of a spell.
Use these. Yay! Ah,
The
no
never went to
wonder they...
hogwash evil's little snot had built an arcanium.
I was
Should one
wondering
of
why
these
they were
droll little
taking
workers
damage, but
manage
it was
to
because
find
they
the
were under
time,
attack
mana
from
would
just
from now on be produced here.
inside
a
the
little
fog of
snot
war.
set about
That's not
generating
good.
mana in the arcanium to make it available to the spell-wielding evil. The gallant evil had now gained access to a number of spells. Create resources, for example, allowed toolboxes or gobblers to quickly be created as if out of thin air. In keeping with his childlike disposition, the amused evil immediately tried this out. An arcane tear had appeared very close to the absurd evil's armies. These magical anomalies were not uncommon in the area and promised great power to those who knew how to use them. The creatures knew but one way to deal with these.
Oh right, I forgot. I need food for these guys. Let's increase that area a little bit. Because you guys need a lot of food. Okay, done that. That is built. That's good. I think now I have ability to get that. What is your secondary? Increases range by 2, and also increase the range by 2. So I think I'll get both of them. The rest is secondary at this point. Let's go back out. Oh wait.
One of your creatures is furious and is on strike.
Why is it on strike? Probably because it doesn't have any food. Well, food is being generated. I can't help it. Sometimes. Okay. All of these cost the same amount. The demons 666. Why all? Oh my god, that's almost wrong. Yes, I'll excavate this room. Real quickly. Hope my gold will allow me to get there. I've got all my creatures. This snot would
gold
just
vein is almost exhausted.
move on. I can actually start building the treasury here. Which means the little snots can start combining this area as well.
Ding dong!
I'll
It's
say
payday.
there we go. I think now it's time to go back to the overworld. So everyone is nicely healed. So we should be able to easily overcome this kind of thing. Also, I can gain a few evil points for my resources.
The childish evil's eyes glowed with joy as it successfully used the Create Resources spell. This would allow stocks to be filled even without decent production.
Good, done. Oh, wrong button. What happened? Oh boy, oh boy. I got attacked on the way there and I did not notice. Good. Let's continue though. That one will heal in time. So we will be fine.
A first floor now adorn the dungeon. The grandiose evil not only used it to increase the efficiency of rooms or to stop enemies for a short time, but it could also lock doors to seal off areas for its supporters. The corrupting evil had captured an arcane tear. New power flowed through it, giving it the ability to now cast the Meteor Rain spell. As luck would have it, there were a group of heroes nearby who made worthy targets.
Also, these weaknesses are healers, so they are very annoying. We want to kill them as quickly as possible as well. There we go. Now, they are healing quite slowly. So, and they're still in combat. So we'll wait a little bit until they heal up. At least I think they should. I'll wait a little bit for these to heal up.
By the spell casting evil.
But I'll be simple, put down portal there, so these can immediately help out. Hey, more gobblers, that's always a good idea. Go, and I think this army for this particular mission is now pretty much unstoppable. I will still have to be a bit mindful. This is difficulty after all. But we now see the effect of the slowing attacks of the whatever they are. I don't know. But our enemies just won't be able to move very quickly towards us. Immensely increases our chances of beating them. So, yay! And this area of effect. Ranged attacks also help really well with being able to withstand all this damage. That is the end of the map, I believe. Is it a statue? No. That needs to be destroyed.
Payday.
Okay. Stone guard. Quickly dispatch you. And only the assassin is left, so now we can actually target it.
I still can't believe you
Or at
really
least
did all that.
automatically will target
Weren't
it.
we like family to you?
I was constantly insulted and humiliated. Does that sound like a family to you?
Yes?
The merciless evil's army had reached the magical barrier. A spell would sweep it away.
a spell would sweep it away.
While the Cruciatus intoning evil was making its way through the protective barrier, Talia and Tristan continued upon their way.
Tristan, beloved brother, would you be so kind as to open this cage door for me? There's no need for us to argue.
Step-brother, and I simply cannot forgive you for slaying our foster father. Not to mention half of the good people of the country.
Only half? Huh. I mean, all that just kind of happened. I don't know how exactly it could all go so wrong either.
You put Tanos' head on a spear.
He bloody well deserved it. Time and again, I had to suffer insults from
These
him and his henchmen
interactions, they are
simply because of my origins, as if all dark elves were evil.
pure comedy.
You killed hundreds of heroes, slew Father's companions, and put Father's head on a spear.
They made me do it. It's society's fault.
It's society's fault. My God.
Your portal is under attack.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll probably have to do the new one soon enough. Oh boy! That is a catapult. And that is gonna cost me half my army. That is not good. I was not paying attention. I think I might need to slow things down just a little bit. In the meantime, level up a lot of these things real quick. The rest is not necessary. Ah. Let's get rid of this arcane threat. And in the meantime, create a new portal. Because I think we will need to defend ourselves soon.
The magic-using evil had conquered an arcane tear. Armed with that captured power, it could now use the Mana Shield spell. Enemies have entered the dungeon.
I know they have. And let's give them a warm welcome. And as you can see, they stand very little chance against the assembled might of my demons. Although they are making a very, especially these ones, these with the marks before them, they are especially powerful. And yeah, only 2 of our units have survived that, so that's not good.
Heroes are stealing your gold.
Yeah, that's fine. They can steal some of my gold. What I want is all these dead ones to come here and get resurrected. I think I might need a chamber for each and every one that needs to be resurrected. So I'll create a few more. Let's see.
Payday!
This side. I think they need to be 3 by 3 actually. So 3 here, 3 here, 3 there, and 3 there. And connect them. But only 1 access point. Disable that. taking so long? So. This is, well, I did say that it was not that easy. Oh wait. Do that, obviously. Yep. It should not be the evil vault, it should be the vortex. While the demons can get resurrected. Give me 1 second while I deal with this bot.
Enemies are in the dungeon.
Let's quickly pick up you. Or is 3x3 not enough? Dang it. I think 3x3 is not enough.
There are enemies in your dungeon.
I think probably either 4x4 or 5x5. So only one way to find out is to just increase the size. Pull it off. First increase the size. And then pull it out. Let's see. I might actually fail at this just because I've been uncareful. It's gonna be 5x5. It's gonna be 5x5, isn't it? Yep. 2. That should be right. Dang it, dang it, dang it, dang it! This is not good. I'm going to lose this.
Enemies are in the dungeon. The dungeon heart is being attacked. Ding dong, it's payday.
I have absolutely
Your
0
throne room is
creatures
under
left.
attack.
So, yeah. Well, that's the first failure of the series. Yay.
The mollycoddled evil had against
But
all
at
odds
least
managed to
we
allow
know
its
now
dungeon
what
heart
to
to be
look for.
destroyed. Sad, but that's the way it
And
goes.
prepare for. Yay. So I guess I'll end it here. Thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll be back on Friday with some more Lord of the Rings Online. I will definitely try to do a little bit of leveling in between. And yeah, let's just see if some of my friends are still online to raid. Hey, I thought, well, I guess we will raid Poppery. She is one of my favorite streamers. She mainly streams Elden Ring, challenge runs, and sometimes a few speed runs, although the speed runs are also part of challenge runs. But I hope you'll just join me for a little bit of Elden Ring fun. So, bye bye, and see you on the other side.